Deepest, Darkest Secret, Chapter 23. Sophia stops by a locally owned fast food restaurant and grabs a cheeseburger and fries. These fries are her favorites. Skin on, clearly hand cut, the kind you know came from a real potato, not the frozen kind. She doesn't want to think about how many potatoes they need to cut up to have enough for a day. The melted cheese drips from the burger as she takes her first bite. She lets out a low moan, closing her eyes and enjoying the taste of ground beef, cheese, and bacon flooding her mouth. This isn't something she should eat often, but she can't help herself sometimes. Refilling her drink, she waves goodbye to the owner of the restaurant and gets back in her car. It's time to get this over with. Hopefully, Anthony won't cause any trouble. Transitions like this can be hard, shuffling a child from one family to another. The children are often confused or concerned that the next place will be worse. Too many children are in the system for long periods of time. Getting bounced around from one family to the next can leave them feeling unloved, wondering what's wrong with them, that they can't get someone to care for them. It's harder when they haven't done anything wrong. Sometimes foster parents get burnt out, especially if they have multiple children in their home. Christine greets Sophia at the door. There's a small suitcase in the foyer ready to go. Sitting on top is the portrait of Anthony's family. Looks like he's ready, Sophia comments. Yep, I've explained to him what's going on, Christine tells her. I tried to make him understand that we had to make sure all the boys were safe, including himself. He hasn't mentioned the knife. Either he forgot he had it, he realized it was missing and knew it wasn't a good idea to ask me if I saw it, or he knows exactly where he left it and figures I found it. Whatever the case, it's gone, and that's not a bad thing. I told him he really needs to work on his anger and that being with a family that didn't have any other children would be a great thing for him. I haven't told the other boys. How did he take it? Honestly, I think he's good with it. When I was done explaining, he simply said, okay, and then walked back to the bedroom and packed his bag. It's been sitting here since right after church. Really? That's different. Usually when I pick up kids that didn't request the move, they're crying and wanting to know what they did wrong. I guess he knows what he did wrong. I guess so. That or he's happy he's getting away from one or more of the others. Or maybe he's just resigned to the idea that he'll always mess up and end up being sent to someone else. Do we need to do paperwork before you take him? I do need your signature. She pulls out the paperwork from her briefcase. Christine signs the document and calls the boys. They all come from various rooms in the house. She explained to the others what's going on, and they all take their turns saying goodbye to Anthony. They wish him good luck and tell him to take care of himself. Luke waves and holds out his hand to Anthony. Anthony looks at it, then to Sophia. Can we go now? He asks. Anthony, Luke wants to shake your hand. It would be the polite thing to do to accept the offer, Sophia tells him. Anthony looks back to Luke, whose hand is still offered. He grabs the tips of Luke's fingers and gives them one quick shake. He takes the picture from where it's resting and holds it to his chest. Pulling up the handle of the suitcase, he looks back to Sophia. There. Can we go now? Sophia sighs. Yes, go ahead to the car. I've popped the trunk. You can put your belongings in there. She turns to Luke. Luke, I need to tell you something. Before I do, just know everything's okay. Luke tilts his head to the side. Troy was in an accident, she says as calmly as she can. Luke's eyes go wide, and he begins to shake his head vigorously. Now remember, I just said everything is okay. He's all right. His leg is broken, and he might not be too nice to look at right now. But that's it. He's going to be just fine in a few weeks, okay? Luke swipes at the tears that started to flow while she was talking. He nods sadly. Troy is such a nice guy. He hates hearing that he's hurt. Before you know it, he'll be picking you up for another fishing trip. He might even have more time to do that, since he won't be able to work until his leg is healed. Luke tries to smile through the tears that are still falling. Sophia turns to Christine. I better go now. The Nelsons are waiting, she says. Please give them my number. Tell them to reach out if they have any questions, and tell Troy we'll all be praying for his recovery. I'll do that. Thank you. She joins Anthony in the car. He stowed his bag in the trunk and is already buckled in the passenger seat. They drive off in silence. The Nelsons live on the outskirts of town, on a property of roughly 50 acres. Some call it a farm, but there are no crops. They have a few chickens, who sometimes act more like pets than livestock. Eggs are more expensive than chicken feed, so they earn the right to some love. In a fenced-in pasture, there's a gray horse grazing. The Nelsons have been waiting for just the right child to foster who might benefit from equine therapy. It was for this reason they agreed to take Anthony, knowing the troubles he was having. When Sophia pulls into their driveway, she sees them both waiting on the front porch of the house. Ben's arm is wrapped around Amanda's shoulder. Both are smiling as they watch the car approach. Sophia parks the car and tells Anthony to go ahead and get his suitcase out of the trunk. He does as he's told, and they both approach the Nelsons. Anthony, this is Ben and Amanda Nelson. Ben and Amanda, this is Anthony. Nice to meet you, they say in unison. We're so happy to have you here, says Amanda. We have a room ready for you. It's basic, but we can help you decorate it if you want. Do you like horses? Anthony looks out towards the pasture. I really haven't been around them. I would like to try. Well, later we can introduce you to Shiloh. I think the two of you will become fast friends. He's a gentle giant. Ben and I have trained him so he can work with kids. They all head into the house, and the Nelsons show Anthony to his new room. As they said, the room is pretty basic. There's a full-size bed with dark red sheets and an astronaut bedspread. The walls are plain white. There's a dresser and a nightstand with a small lamp. Anthony puts his suitcase in the corner and his family picture on the nightstand. Are those your parents? Ben asks. Yes, sir. That was taken about a year before they got in the accident. It's great that you have something to remember them by. If you know where they're buried, we can make sure to take you to visit them from time to time. Maybe put some flowers on their graves. Would you like that? Really? Anthony asks, his face brightening. That would be nice. I haven't been out there since the funeral. Go ahead and unpack while the Nelsons and I take care of some business, Anthony. Sophia directs him. Yes, ma'am, he answers. Sophia and the Nelsons sit at the kitchen table. Sophia pulls out the necessary paperwork while they chat about Anthony's recent troubles and how they plan to help him with equine therapy. Thank you for offering to take him to visit his parents' graves, Ben. I could tell that meant a lot to him. It's no problem at all. If they're at the same cemetery as my parents, I can take them when I go. Sometimes it's nice to sit next to their graves and talk to them. Some people think I'm odd to do that. I know they're not going to answer me. They didn't always answer me when they were alive, he chuckles. Talking things through is therapeutic, he continues. It doesn't matter if you're talking to someone who's on the phone or in the room or not even on this earth. It was talking that helped me get through some things in the past. Most of the time, people already know the answer to the questions they're struggling with. They just don't like it. Once everything is done, she says goodbye to all of them and heads back to the hospital. When she gets there, Troy is sleeping again. A different Western is playing on the television. She sits in the same chair as before and takes out her puzzle book. Troy wakes about an hour later. He smiles as he realizes she's there again. Well now, hello, beautiful. Troy grins and tips an invisible hat. Ain't you a sight for sore eyes? Sophia laughs. Hey there, cowboy. How's the leg feeling? I won't be busting Broncos anytime soon, but it's not enough to take another one of those darn pain pills. You really are against those pain pills, aren't you? I've seen too many good men get addicted. Give me regular ibuprofen any day, not one of those narcotics they want to push on me. A nurse walks in to take Troy's vitals. When she pushes up his sleeve to take his blood pressure, Sophia can see part of a tattoo on his arm. Tattoos aren't something she would ever get herself, but depending on what it is, it could be sexy on a man. She hopes it's not another woman's name. Everything looks good, Mr. Hebert. The doctor asked me to tell you he'd be around in a few minutes to discuss your test results. Thank you, Beth. I think Mr. Hebert is a little too formal, don't you think? Your sister and I were in the same class. I've been to your house for quite a few 4th of July celebrations. Make sure you tell your sister and parents I said hello, okay? Will do. Troy, she says as she walks out. I couldn't help but notice the bottom of a tattoo on your arm when she raised your sleeve to take your blood pressure. Can I see it? Sophia asks. Troy raises his sleeve and reveals a military symbol tattooed on his bicep. That's the Marine Corps emblem, right? It is. We call it the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor. Before I entered the police academy, I enlisted. I did 2 tours in Afghanistan with an infantry unit. We lost some good men over there, and even more when we got back home. It was honorable of you to serve your country. I'm sorry for your losses. Is that what you were referring to earlier, about the addiction to pain pills? A lot of them, yes. It messes with your head, Sophia. I'm thankful every day that I came back physically whole and that I had my relationship with God to see me through it all. That's about all I'd like to say about it, if you don't mind. Of course. She stands up and puts her hand on his. Our pasts are our own. Maybe one day we'll both feel more comfortable sharing, but if not, I understand. 3 hours later, the doctor finally makes it to Troy's room. Good news, Mr. Hebert. The tests found no internal injuries. I'm clearing you for discharge. That's great, Doc. I'll get dressed. Did you have someone bring you a change of clothes? You know they had to cut your pants off. Troy frowns. No. I hadn't thought about that. I can take care of that. There's a clothing store right down the road. Sophia chimes in. What size pants do you need? You don't need to buy me clothes. I think my keys should be in the closet. Would you mind going to my apartment and picking me up a pair of shorts with elastic? I can do that, too. She finds his keys on a shelf in the closet, and he gives her directions to his place and where to find the shorts he would like. It doesn't take long for Sophia to find his apartment complex. She walks up the stairs to the 2nd floor and locates his door. It's a lot neater than any bachelor pad she's ever seen. She finds the shorts Troy wants in precisely the drawer he described, folded neatly. Being nosy, she looks in his closet and is surprised to find his dress shirts hung neatly and organized by color and sleeve length. His pants are hung properly with the creases touching. Definitely the closet of a Marine, she says to the empty apartment. Going back to the dresser, she opens another drawer and finds t-shirts. She grabs one of those as well, just in case, and returns to the hospital. By the time she gets back, he has put on the shirt he was wearing when he was in the accident. The shirt has holes and dried blood dotting it. He's waiting in the bed in his boxers. She walks in and lowers her eyes to the floor. Thanks, Sophia. I hate to ask you this, but I think I'm going to need help getting them on. Do you want me to call the nurse? No, I can help you if you're okay with it. I just didn't want to assume. She hands him the shorts. He sits on the edge of the bed and steps into the right leg. She crouches down and carefully stretches the shorts so that they are wide enough not to touch his cast. With the shorts completely over the cast, he touches her hand. I've got it from here. I brought you a t-shirt as well. I hope you don't mind I look somewhere other than your shorts drawer. Troy looks at the shirt he's wearing. I guess this shirt is going to have to be retired. It's a shame, too. It was one of my favorites. He pulls it off and puts on the t-shirt she picked up. Per hospital guidelines, they wheel Troy out in a wheelchair. Sophia gets her car and brings it around to the emergency room entrance. Carefully, they transfer Troy to the passenger seat and get him buckled in. The nurse then hands Sophia a pair of crutches, which she places in the back seat. We never discussed where I'm bringing you, she says as she slides into the driver's seat. I haven't even thought about it. I've got a 2nd floor apartment, as you saw. That would be a nightmare with these crutches. Gromer's cabin is good, but I would definitely be stuck in the house because navigating the terrain with those would not be fun. You know, I wouldn't mind if you don't even offer. I'm thrilled beyond belief if you were about to say what I think you were, but with the way things have been going between us, I'd worry we'd cross a line we shouldn't. Cindy will let me stay with her. Will you take me there, please? I'll direct you. If that's what you want. I've been waiting to meet your sister. I've been wanting to meet your sister since she told me she speaks Cajun French as well, she says, but she's thinking he's probably right. Our attraction is strong, and with the vows we both made not to get sexually involved before marriage, it's probably best. Oh, great. Another person you'll abandon me to talk to, he says as he winks at her. Can I use your phone to check and make sure it's all right? Sophia laughs and hands over her phone. Troy places a call to Cindy and asks her permission, even though he's already on his way. His sister is more than happy to let him use her spare room for a few weeks. She's waiting outside, one hand on the small of her back and the other on her bulging stomach when they pull up. Sophia grabs the crutches and opens Troy's door. Well, isn't this the role reversal? He laughs. She takes his hand and helps him get out and get steady on his one good leg. She follows behind him as he slowly makes his way to his sister. Troy introduces the women to each other and they head inside. I put Hunk out back so he doesn't try to jump on you and knock you over, Cindy tells him. Sophia looks at Troy, then Cindy. Hunk? I forgot to ask if you're okay with dogs. Cindy has a German shepherd named Hunk because he's a hunk of burning love, she says, explains Troy, rolling his eyes. Oh, I've never had pets, but I like dogs. Is he friendly? Sophia asks. Sometimes a little too much. Cindy shows Troy to the spare room and gets him settled into the bed. The TV remote is there on the nightstand. Please keep in mind Jeremy works odd hours, and who knows when I'll be sleeping. My sleep schedule is so messed up. I guess I'll be prepared for when Lincoln arrives. I've also put the cordless phone there. Sophia asks, how much longer? Oh, I'm only 26 weeks along. Feels like it's been much longer. The morning sickness is brutal. I'm sorry to hear that. I've heard women can have wildly different experiences when it comes to pregnancy. Are you planning a natural birth? Do I really need to be involved in this conversation? Troy cuts in. You already know my birth plan. What are you grumbling about? Yes, I plan on a natural birth, but with the way this pregnancy has been going, if labor is as bad as I think it's going to be, I won't be opposed to an epidural. I think whatever you decide is best for you will be fine. Make sure you have someone there to advocate for you so the doctors and nurses don't push you into something you're not comfortable with. I'm hoping Jeremy will be there, but it'll all depend on where he is when things go down. Troy was supposed to be my backup. That cast needs to be off before Lincoln makes his appearance. Speaking of the cast, do you happen to have a permanent marker? I'm sure I have one around here. I bet I know what you're thinking. Cindy leaves and returns shortly after. Sophia takes the marker. On Troy's cast, she writes the traditional, get well soon. She draws a heart and signs her name. Cindy takes the marker and writes, get better soon, butthead. Sophia reads it and laughs. Sibling love. How sweet. Really, Sin? Troy asks as he reads what she wrote. Hey, at least you'll know who wrote it. Here's my number. If you get tired of him, just call me. I'll come relieve you as soon as I can, Sophia tells Cindy. Cindy laughs. I've put up with him all his life, but I might take you up on that. I'm glad you two are making jokes at my expense, Troy sulks. Sophia kisses him gently on the lips. Even if she's not tired of you, I'll swing by tomorrow. Troy grins. I'll be waiting. Y'all are joking around, but I'm sure by the time you get here, I'll be ready to have different company as well.